Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. It is exactly a year since the retinol ban first started to be phased in, and I know a lot of people are noticing the impacts it's already having. So in today's video, I thought I'd share with you a little bit of an update, what exactly is going on, but a whole range of different alternatives to retinol, which will hopefully help you guys find the right anti-aging serum for your individual skin's needs. Sit back, relax, let's talk retinol ban alternatives. Now, before we get into today's video, I would love to know how the retinol ban, the restrictions have impacted you. Have you noticed zero change in effect? Let me know in the comments. Or has it actually made you consider alternatives and you've made the switch already? I just want to get that conversation going so we can really learn from one another as to what's the best when it comes to effective anti-aging. Whatever your thoughts on the topic that we're covering today, if you like this style of content where we do some deep dives into what's going on in the skincare industry, look at some alternatives and basically just help everyone find the right products for their individual skin's needs, then let me know by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. This really does support me as a content creator because the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube distributes it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, love to each and every one of you. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So in today's video, we're going to start with a brief overview of what the ban is, how it started to impact things. I'm then going to come on to the best alternatives, those that are still absolutely accessible even once the ban is fully implemented. Then at the end, I'm going to share with you a few thoughts, feelings and opinions to kind of summarize everything too. If you want to jump to one section of the video over another, be my guest. I've left some timestamps in the description box below, and I've also left links to all the products that I mentioned today in case you didn't quite catch the name, you want to read some reviews, make a purchase. Like I say, all there in the description box for your convenience. So, the retinol ban. This is what it's been termed in the media, but instead of it being an outright ban, it's actually a phasing in of restrictions around concentrations of retinol in over-the-counter products. Whilst this is specifically limited to countries within the European Union, it's the EU that's actually implemented this ban and these restrictions. It is actually seeing wider global impacts too. So what the European Union directive states is that phasing in from 12 months ago, products over the counter will no longer be able to have concentrations of retinol above a 0.3%. Now, this is fairly restrictive because 0.3% really is a beginner strength retinoid. And for those of us that have been using retinol or other retinoids for years, this really isn't going to cut it. So it's actually quite a restrictive limitation on the concentrations that are allowed. Now, whilst the European Union is just a small fraction of the global skincare market, these restrictions are having wider implications. What you're seeing is a lot of brands don't want to have different strength products in different countries. So say one product for the US market, one for the European Union, and maybe another one for the rest of the world. And so they're thinking, actually, it might just be easier from a business standpoint to move away from retinol to some of the other retinoids which aren't impacted. That way they can have one product available globally, keeping things super simple. So a lot of people are saying that even though they might live in the States, here in the UK, which is no longer in the European Union, they are seeing that some of the retinol products have been removed from shelves. That's not because the ban directly applies to us in these countries, but rather brands are just making that strategic decision to kind of opt for other retinoids, change their formulations to just keep things simple. So it is definitely having a wider global impact. And I know from the comments that you guys leave, lots of people are seeing a few changes and are looking for other options on the market. One thing that this ban or these restrictions really has thrown up is just how shady some of the big skincare brands were being. I'm looking specifically at you, Olay. So Olay have this range of retinol products under the Regenerist banner. They also have one called their Regenerist Max cream. And they always said when people asked what percentage of retinol is contained in this product, they said they couldn't tell us because of their proprietary formulation. It's like a trade secret. They couldn't let us know. It now turns out, because they are still selling in the European Union, that the reason they didn't want to tell us is because it actually contained a very low percentage of retinol, one that definitely doesn't warrant a Max logo or label on the product. That sort of deceptive marketing really has been exposed by these restrictions, because any brand that's now selling a retinol-based product in the European Union, they might not tell us what percentage it is, but we'll know because they have to meet those regulations that it's below 0.3%, which really isn't going to cut it when it comes to anti-aging. So that might actually be a positive that's come out of these restrictions. It's kind of exposed some of the shady behavior going on in brands, and Olay, if you're watching, must do better. So let's look at the options. If you're impacted by the retinol ban, or you're looking to mix things up, change things about, these are some of the options that you can go for. So first of all, you can stick with retinol and just know that the percentages will be 0.3% or lower. This actually isn't a terrible percentage if you have super sensitive skin or you're a beginner, someone that's new to retinoids. 0.3% will still give you some results. Just in the long term, obviously they're not going to be as good in terms of results you'll see as if you opted for a slightly stronger formulation. Using a 0.3% retinol, I think is great if you're in your 20s, you just want to delay the very first signs of aging, you have super sensitive skin, or you're new and looking to phase in retinoids, then I think reaching for a retinol in a 0.3% strength or less is absolutely fine. For people though that want to take it to the next level, that's where I think we're going to have to look elsewhere. Retinol isn't going to be available in the strength we need. We need to look elsewhere, some of the other options on the market. So one of the newcomers in terms of retinoids, which isn't covered by any bans or restrictions, is something known as granactive retinoid. So granactive retinoid is relatively new in the skincare world and is showing some really promising signs when it comes to the data coming out of studies. It's actually clinically proven to be less sensitizing than retinol. So even though people might say it's supposed to be higher strength, but I'm getting less irritation, that's actually to be expected. It's better tolerated on most skin, and so you'll get fewer side effects, but it actually packs a greater punch than retinol itself. When we talk about the strength of products, you need to remember that whichever retinoid you go for, it needs to go through conversions in order to get to the retinoic acid that our skin uses for its anti-aging benefits. So retinol, I would say, is fairly low down on the pyramid of strength. It needs to go through a lot of conversions in order to get to that retinoic acid, and it loses potency with each conversion that happens. Granactive retinoid is closer to retinoic acid, and so fewer conversions, it maintains that potency, which is why you get enhanced results. But like I say, it's more compatible with the skin, so less likely to trigger sensitivity and irritation. For granactive retinoid, I think it's a great option for people, like I say, that have sensitive skin but want to go for something a little bit stronger than retinol. Granactive retinoid could be a great option. And some studies also show it can be really effective in terms of reducing acne-causing bacteria on the skin. So if you're looking to use an over-the-counter retinoid to minimize breakouts, granactive retinoid could be a really great option. And my personal favorite is the Dr. Sam Flawless Nightly Pro Serum. I'm leaving an image of it here. This has a real high strength and concentration of granactive retinoid alongside some other beneficial anti-aging ingredients. This packs a punch and is a wonderful alternative to retinol if your favorite retinol serum is no longer available. Now, if we look at some other higher strength options that go through fewer conversions, Retinal definitely comes to mind. So Retinal is another retinoid. It's the same family as granactive retinoid and retinol, but again, it's closer to the retinoic acid that our skin needs, so it packs a greater punch when it comes to anti-aging. Alongside granactive retinoid, studies into retinal also show it's better tolerated on the skin. So I think one of the main reasons why the European Union didn't restrict granactive retinoid and retinal the way that they did retinol is because it's less likely to trigger a sensitivity reaction. Great if you've got a sensitive skin type or you're just looking to minimize redness and irritation. Retinal is honestly my preferred retinoid. I find that it's that sweet spot between getting maximum results, minimum risk of irritation. That for me is Retinal in a nutshell. It generally comes in 3 different strengths: 0.05, 0.1 and 0.2. And I would always say to people, try not to get hung up on percentages when comparing like Retinal to retinol. So a 0.2% retinal is way stronger than a 0.3% retinol. So try not to get hung up on the percentage comparisons between different forms. I would generally say when it comes to retinal, 0.05 is a mid-strength, 0.1 is a high strength, 0.2 is super high strength. So for a mid-strength option, this is a product from my own brand. This is the Mad About Skin Ultimate Anti-Aging Oil, a beautiful oil-based retinal, which is gonna give you that long-term effective anti-aging, but in a mid-strength concentration. And that oil is so nourishing and hydrating, so great if you've got a more dryness-prone skin type. Also, the good thing about an oil is you can put a couple of drops of this into your favorite moisturizer and then use it all over the body. So don't just stop your retinoid at the face, take it onto the rest of the body. A couple of drops of this into your favorite moisturizer, lather the body with it, and get that anti-aging like head to toe. The Geek and Gorgeous A Game 10 is a wonderful high-strength retinal, super creamy, nourishing and hydrating, but has a higher concentration than this oil equivalent for those of us that have a much more resilient skin type. Packs a punch, definitely will give you amazing next level anti-aging, but could be a little sensitizing on certain skin types, so just one to call out. For the highest strength, the 0.2% concentrations, there's these two. This is the Geek and Gorgeous A Game 20, which is the step up from the 10 that I just showed you. And this is the ordinary Retinal Emulsion 0.2%. Both of these, same strength, sky high anti-aging, and the two of them are fantastic. If you're shopping within the European Union, where a lot of these restrictions are happening, go for Geek and Gorgeous because it ships from within the EU, it'll be a lot cheaper for you, easier to get your hands on. If you're shopping from outside the European Union, you could still go Geek and Gorgeous, but you might find it easier to get your hands on the ordinary. Both are basically the same, work so well. And if you want a more detailed like side-by-side comparison, I did that in a separate video, which I'll leave a link to up there. So as I said, for me, I think Retinal is where it's at, giving you the maximum potency, minimum risk of side effects and irritation. But you can take it one step further, and that's with the prescription strength retinoids. So these are adapolene, tazarotene, and tretinoin. The three products that are often on prescription in a lot of countries and are so close to that retinoic acid that we spoke of that they're giving you maximum efficacy. So I'm not going to talk about tazarotene or tretinoin because I think in this case, because they're such high potency, you're best doing that in collaboration with a licensed medical professional, be it an online consultation, an in-face dermatologist visit. However you go about it, I think having that medical assessment before, during, and after treatment is really important. But just know that if your favorite retinol has disappeared, you can opt for a prescription strength for maximum anti-aging, but of course, it will come with costs and with the inconvenience of needing that prescription, but definitely one to look out for. I am going to talk a little though about adapolene. Now, adapolene is prescription strength in a lot of countries, but it's also available over the counter in others. Here in the UK, in the US, and in a lot of countries of the European Union, you can get adapolene over the counter. And I think this is an absolutely phenomenal development. When it went over the counter here in the UK, I think it changed so much. So adapolene is a new generation retinoid, meaning you're getting sky high results, but because it's new generation, it's much more gentle on the skin. So if you're someone that can't tolerate tretinoin, you just find it too irritating, actually adapolene might give you very similar results with a lot less side effects and irritation. It's also fantastic if you have very oily, breakout and acne prone skin because it's clinically proven to reduce the prevalence of breakouts, decongest the pores and minimize any inflammation that you have associated with those breakouts themselves. I love adapolene, which is also known by its trade name Differin, which quite a lot of you guys might know it by. It's a great alternative to retinol, which in most cases gives you far greater results, less side effects than retinol itself. So that to me is again, win-win-win, ding. In this video, I just wanted to give a little brief update on the retinol ban or the restrictions that are taking place and explain how, whilst it might be just specific to the European Union, the effects might be felt much more widely. And if you've found that your favorite retinol product is no longer available or you're looking to move on, hopefully this video has explained the alternatives in a little bit more detail than what we normally see online. There is no right or wrong. Go for the one that you think best meets your individual skin's needs. And if you have any questions whatsoever, sound off in the comments section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.